without further ado, let's jump into our MDIIO A to Z webinar. So I'm going to do a quick screen share here. There we go. So if you're not on MDIIO, I urge you to, obviously. Really quick, first thing you're going to see is, everybody sees my screen? Just Bob, give me a thumbs up if you see my screen. Okay, we do. Good. Perfect. So the first thing you're going to see is whether you're logging into your profile or whether you're just going to MDIIO, we're oftentimes putting together really cool events on a weekly basis. For example, this is one that we're doing with one of our partners, Berklee College of Music. Everybody who has ever picked up a guitar ever or played a piano or whatever knows what Berklee College of Music is. We have a very cool partnership with them. We are doing a MDIIO event called Hip Hop Identity Series. We have some really cool guests that are joining us. You can sign in, you can log into that, and again, all for free. As a MDIIO member, you get all of this cool stuff for free. So anyway, I'm going to jump in. You log in, you sign up. Oh, by the way, I'll just go back really quick here. You can get a pretty good sense of everything that we do here. Here's a little bit about MDIIO. This is about MDIIO Plus, which is what we give to everybody here. Hyper audio, which we will discuss at some point during the course of this conversation. We have something called the MDIIO Hot List. So we urge you to make submissions to be a hot list artist. And we'd love to feature you as part of our, as part of our community. Here's different people that are part of our MDIIO faculty, which is also a lot of fun. We have some MDIIO X pop-up events. If you've not participated in this, I urge you to. These are basically songwriting collaboration events online, obviously, via Zoom. But we bring in some pretty amazing mentors who come in and write alongside with you and collaborate. And again, it's a way to increase your community of people that you're working with and collaborate with very established professional songwriters. Then we have our MDIIO A to Z. That's what we're doing here today. And then we have different other things like understanding where our different projects are that are on our platform, and we're going to get into all of that. I'm just giving you a basic overview of our basic platform. We have something called Feedback Friday, where again we urge you to submit your songs for feedback by not only Carrie, our in-house director of A&R, but also external professional A&R people, music supervisors, music managers, and industry professionals in general that will come in and review your songs. And then finally, if you guys have not seen them, we have our blogs that we put out every Friday with our newsletter. Those are a lot of fun. Those are really great. And so just while we're here, if anybody has any blog ideas, by all means, feel free to submit those. We'd love to get lots of new ideas. So I'm going to log into my page. If you haven't logged into your page, please do, or generally, and if you haven't created a page, please do. So very, very quickly, here is our general page. This is our profile. When you log in, there will be one song there that you'll hear me singing, just a silly little song to kind of give you a sense of kind of how to do things. But once your profile gets started, it's really, really easy to upload songs and to add them. So I'm going to show you kind of how that works. First thing. Actually, let's go back. The first thing I'm going to do is let's open up your settings. So when you go to your settings, there's a little picture here at the top. There's going to be no picture, so you can add a picture. You'd open up your profile settings. You add your bio. It's important because when you pitch songs, you want to make sure that people know who you are. You can add you can add your publisher or any other publishers. Even if you don't have a publisher, you are technically self-published, so you can actually add your own publishing company in there. You would add your PRO member ID. So that's your ASCAP, BMI, SOCAN, CSAC, PRS, whatever performance rights organization you are affiliated to. If you're not affiliated to a PRO, I suggest you do it. You can actually affiliate directly to SOCAN through our platform. So we can actually make that easy for you. And then as well, every writer has an IPI number, which is basically the number that identifies you as a songwriter in their database. You can enter all of the rest of your information here. If you have a website, whatever, I'm going to save that and I'm going to pop out of that. So here we are back at our main profile page. We've now have one song, but let me show you how we upload multiple tracks. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go add tracks. I'll just go back slowly. We click add tracks, select those tracks. It's going to go back into our internal hard drive, and we can go and add tracks. So I'm going to start, let's say, adding some of my songs here. Now I want to show you a couple cool things here that I think you will want to make your life really easy. So for example, I'm going to open up this final mixes folder, and I can see I have Battle Cry, and I have Glory, and I have New Levels. I have 3 songs. I want to just open those. I'm going to click that, and it's going to drag and it's going to start uploading. But before I do that, there's another easier way to do things. I am going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go back to Easy McCoy. I'm going to go to my final mixes. I'm going to go to Battle Cry and Glory and New Levels, and I can literally go like this, drag, drop them right into the platform. So you actually can bypass a step with having to open up your hard drive and going into it, where just literally you can drag and drop your song straight onto the platform. You can actually close that window. It's still going to upload in the background while you do other things. So we can kind of go bounce around here and show you some other things real quick on this main page. The first thing is, here are your different notifications. These are going to pop up. Now, you're going to get these notifications based on projects that are being uploaded to the platform. You're going to get these notifications based on opportunities that are available. You will get these notifications based on if other songwriters have reached out to connect and collaborate with you. This is basically your sort of information hub and portal here. So you can see, as we had stepped off, we came back, and now we have these 2 songs. We actually have 3. A third one's gonna pop up in a second. I'm gonna open up Glory. This is the song that we just uploaded here. Okay, so there's a few things that are happening in the background, even still while we're going. Emotional analysis, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But here is the song. I'm gonna just play it here. So this is a song that I worked with an artist, and then I can now go in and start tracking and adding my own metadata sets. Now this is really important. Metadata is important because if you don't have the correct information associated to a song, a few things happen. A, the song cannot get discovered when our music supervisor partners are coming to search for it, right? That's the first thing. Or if your IPI number is incorrect on a song, guess what? When it gets used, you're not going to get those royalties because your PRO is not going to know. They don't know who David Zips is. Is it Zips or Zipes? Zipsy?
Zipsy, yeah, you got it third time.
I did it. Everybody in the club getting Zipsy. Anyway, so what I was going to say is they don't know who David Zipsy is, right? They know who 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 writer is, right? In other words, your IPI number is so important to making sure that this information is there. So because I'd already put that information into my profile, look what happens. My number is already there. It's already pre-embedded into the metadata of the song. Very, very important. So what happens is the song Glory, Zipsy, right? My PRO rather already knows, oh, that's the right Justin Gray. There's probably not too many David Zips. That's the right Justin Gray, right? And so it makes tracking the revenue of the song and then paying it out simple. It simplifies that process. Now, there's a few things that also happened. Now, I did not enter information, but the song already knows, MDIIO already knows that Gloria is the name of the song and the artist is Easy McCoy, because that information was already pre-embedded in the metadata when I took it out of my Pro Tools. I use Pro Tools when I took it out of Pro Tools, but every DAW, when you export songs, you can add certain metadata points, right? Okay, great. What's happening now in the background, which you don't see, is the song is continuing to be analyzed, and we're going to go through that in a second. And part of the analysis that we're launching is to say, oh, well, if you like Kanye West, you're going to like Glory by Easy McCoy, right? So we're actually correlating existing hit successful artists and songwriters to these songs. Now, why is that important? Because when we launch Hyper Audio, people could come into Hyper Audio and say, hey, I want to find something that sounds like, I don't know, Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. And so we can go and automatically make sure that anything that sounds like Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk gets discovered in their search, and then we can license that on your behalf for that music supervisor. Also, I think what's important to note, we don't own any of your music. We don't own any of your copyright. You can have your music on 20 different platforms. We are non-exclusive So there's no ownership, there's no obligation to us, and songs can be popped in and out of your profile and made available for licensing at any point. And I'll show you how we do that. So let's say I'm going to use David. Are you on platform? Do you have a MDIIO profile yet?
You bet.
Okay, so really simple.
Go on.
Okay, great. So let's say I'm now going to add David as a collaborator on this song, right? I'm going to go to this little teal, I don't love teal, but I'm going to go to this little teal button here. I'm going to go, let's see, I'm going to go look for David Zipsy. Oh, boom, there he is. That is you. I can see it, confirmed. That was not, I'm no bot. Anyway, I'm going to add David as a collaborator to the song. He's now a collaborator of the song. I'm going to edit those splits, right? So let's say I wrote 50% of the song and he wrote 50% of the song. I'm going to save those splits. What's cool is now David has done nothing, right? But when David logs into his MDIIO profile, or if he refreshes it, he's going to see this song now in his profile. In other words, only one of the collaborators needs to upload the song. All of the other collaborators, that music will automatically show up in their database. What's cool is if you have a publisher or you have a manager, that song will also be in their database. So you can actually really streamline your delivery of your music right into your partner's database. Now, also, I want to show you something cool. David, who I just added as a collaborator, now I can see ZipTunes LLC is an additional publisher on the song. Why? Because David entered that information in his profile. Again, we're just finding a way to create a unique and singular point of information and data attached to every single song, right? So now I'm going to go in and do things like add metadata. So again, anywhere where you see this really obnoxious teal button, you can edit that information. So I'm going to open that up right now. I'm going to say, well, it sounds similar to Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, whatever, right? Whatever. Don't worry about the key. Our automation and AI is going to lift the key for you. It's going to also tell you what instruments are on their song. It's going to also tell you what time signature it is. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can then rate the song. Why is this important? Because let's say I think a song is 5. David might think a song is a 3. It'll average out at a 4. But the more often that you share your music and pitch it, often you build up rating. So it's actually an excellent way to gain some feedback on the music that you're working on. Same thing, don't worry about BPM. Our AI is going to determine that. But now let's say I want to add some tags. Also, our AI is going to determine that. But let's say you say, well, I want to say it's rap. I want to say it's hip hop. I want to say it's edgy. I'm going to say it's cinematic. Apologize for typing in front of people. It really stresses me out. Mid-tempo, male. It's I don't know. There's got 808s in it, right? The more metadata you tag in a song, the more discoverable it becomes, not only internally within your database, but also when we launch Hyper Audio again, and we'll talk about that. You don't have to add the publisher. You can see because you've already put that information in your profile. Same thing. You don't have to add additional publishers because that information, since I've added David, I now know that that's his publisher representative. Now catalog, which I'll do very quickly here. I'm going to add it to my 72 songs catalog. Again, not everybody needs to worry about that. If you have a publisher or if you have certain exclusive relationships with certain partners but not others, it might be a benefit to you to create catalogs. But again, not a necessary component. And then we have final information, things like we know that's a 2021 copyright. You can enter master and label information. So again, I'm just going to fix this up. I'm going to say, well, we know that it's Easy McCoy. We have that information. Any additional details? Does it contain a sample? No, it does not. And then have I registered with my PRO? Yes or no? Again, same thing. Figure that out. And then cue sheet number, right? Has this been used? If it has been used, you get the cue sheet reference number. You can enter that information there. Boom, save. So now I've saved all of this information. This now all becomes embedded in the song whenever I send it or whenever somebody downloads the song that I've pitched to them. Right. Again, what's cool is when David logs in or refreshes his page, he's going to see all of this metadata is now embedded in the song. David, right? Has that happened? I'm hoping he gives me a thumbs up.
I didn't see it earlier. Let me check again real quick. It should, right?
It should, yeah. It will.
I believe you.
Okay. It's cool. The point is then David could say upload. David can then go and say, well, okay, I want to add the lyrics to the song. Again, he can copy and paste. He could type them out. Any additional information, contact, contact David Zipsy for clearance, whatever, right? Any of that information is, again, all embedded in the song. You can do things like communicate directly between collaborators by comments, which is what we call tweaks, and then you can enter any of the relevant information. So whenever a song is licensed through our HyperAudio portal or directly through MDIIO, we will track all of these licenses here. In addition to that, you can also enter a license that you might have or a usage that you might have in analog. Again, it's a great way to keep all of the writers or the people that have an interest in the copyright of the song, an interest in the copyright stake of the song, sort of all on the same page in terms of activity. What's also really important to note is that if I were to pitch this song, David would get a notification, Justin Gray pitched Glory to Jenny Nash, right? So again, we want to keep track of all of the activity of the music and keep everybody in one singular location. Again, so you can do most of the work there. There's also the new song, new levels that we just added as well. You can see actually, which is kind of cool, is because I exported it out of my DAW with a genre tag attached, it also imported that. It already knows to tell me that it's a rap song. Again, a couple things I could do. Here's a list of the metadata as it came in. Again, not super relevant, not super important, but it's just something good to know. So I want to talk a little bit about pitches, because that's always a very, very big part of what we're doing here. I want to put some of this into context here for a moment. When you pitch a song into a project that is available on our platform, we have partners. So when we have, when I go to projects, sorry, we have partners that we do these projects with, right? So when you submit a song to the Workout Fitness Song Search, for example, and you see up-tempo, electro, driving, dance, EDM, club, electronic, house, energy, right? When you see those classifiers as to the type of song that they're looking for, I would very highly suggest that you don't send them down-tempo, acoustic, soft, singer-songwriter, right? In other words, everything opposite of that. Don't send them that. Even if it is literally the most amazing song, it doesn't work in your best interest, because someone's going to go, ooh, Gunnar just sent me this song. It's totally not right. It's going to bug me that he sent me this song. Now, the upside is, if you have the perfect song for this and you send it out, even if you don't make it, they're going to go, ooh, this guy, I like what this guy does. I'm going to save this song. This song's now every time you pitch a song, it automatically stays in that music supervisor's catalog of songs within MDIIO. So even if they go, ooh, this was the second song or the third, or it almost happened, but you know what? I love this song. I'm going to hold on to this for something else. I personally have had that experience where a song gets pitched, you don't hear back. By the way, you never hear back. And then 2 years later, you hear from a music supervisor that wants to license a song and says, oh, I got this for this different pitch. I always loved this song. It wasn't right for this, but I always held on to it. They always hold on to their favorites. And then you never know when they're going to use it. So it's just very important to make sure that you make a great first impression. Moving on. Editorial done. Moving on. So now I've opened up this project. I can see here that I can now pitch to that project. I'm going to go pitch to project, opens this window, and I'm going to say, well, I know that they want EDM songs, right? So I'm going to search EDM, right? So I'm going to open, and then I'm going to say electro songs, right? I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say EDM, electro, and driving. Do I have anything specifically that's EDO, electric, driving? Boom, there they are, right? I'm going to go that one. I'm going to go. Actually, let me go one tag back. I'm going to add that one. I'm going to add that one. By the way, those are really EDM, electro, and driving. I'm going to add that one. I'm going to go this one. Whatever, right? I'm just picking these three. I'm going to go enter my message. Check out my music. Boom. Right? Okay. I've now submitted those songs. You can see here that those songs have now been submitted. There they are. Our A&R person, Carrie, who, by the way, is not just some random person we found on the street. She graduated top of her class in USC Thorne School of Music. She knows what she's talking about. She's an excellent A&R person. She'll now get these songs, so she'll collect the whole batch of music. She'll listen to this music, and then she will make the determination of what songs get forwarded off to our partners. Now, this is why we don't forward everything that we receive onto our partners. Maybe we're not getting the right songs submitted. That's why it's important that you make sure that the genre tags kind of line up, right? We also want to make sure that it is incumbent for us to make sure that we put our best creative foot forward, so that when Jenny pitches her song next time, they trust us as a resource for good music, right? Makes a lot of sense. David is thumbs upping. If your music doesn't make the first cut, it's not because we don't love it. It's because we want to make sure that the best of the best are getting through, so that when your song goes through, they already trust us. They know, oh, that's a David Zipsey song? Amazing. We know it's going to be great. Very, very important just to know and to understand, because the truth is, like, this is a partner actually. In fact, I'll just on a general level, we're actually in the middle of doing a whole bunch of partners, basically like never-ending requirements for music. We're working with a bunch of these fitness companies that do these fitness videos that literally need 30-minute wall-to-wall music done 7 times a week. And so we're working on these partnerships with them. That's a lot of music. So each individual license is not going to change your life. But if you start locking in 5, 6 of these in a week, that could be like quit day job type of opportunity for you, right? So you're going to start seeing these kinds of things happen. Lower fees, much higher usage rate, right? So again, submit or don't. It's great. One of the things that we're working on right now is one of the fitness partners. They don't want to get 500 songs. They want us to help them find 5 people that can just do all of the videos, right? And so that's part of one of the projects that's going to be coming up very shortly as well. So again, individually, those licenses aren't going to change your life. But if you were going to do, 1 video a week, you might not have to work a day job. So, that's kind of what we're trying to help go for. And of course, it doesn't stop you from submitting to anything else. Also, it doesn't stop you from submitting songs that don't get used for your project for other things, right? They don't own those songs. You still own those songs. And again, what's important to understand about licensing is that they never own those songs. You still always own your own music. You're just licensing them. You're renting them. Imagine you had an apartment, an Airbnb, and someone comes and rents it for you for 2 days. They don't own the apartment. They're just renting it. It's the exact same thing. You always hold on to those rights. So don't worry about whether the fees are too low or maybe they might be gratis. It's all about getting your music out there and, of course, still earning revenue on any public performances that might happen. What's cool is when you pitch a song, right? You can see here that I've pitched a song here. I can tell you that Carrie has not listened to it yet. I know she hasn't listened to it yet because she's on this call. But also, I know when she opens it, I'll get a notification that she's opened up this submission, which I think is, again, really cool. And then you can do a few things, like I can go and look at the project details. I can look at the tracks. I can at least, of course, delete my pitch. The other thing that you can do is certain pitches that are not attached to a project, but that you pitch individually, you can actually create your own playlist from those pitches. And I'm going to show you how that works in a moment. So let's go backwards. And by the way, if anybody has questions, feel free to type them in the chat, and we'll try and hit them as we go. I'm just not seeing the question because I'm in the middle of doing this presentation. Let's go through some of the other cool stuff. Playlists. Here is my playlist I'm going to open up. We have September Swagger Hip Hop playlists. There you go. I'm going to open that up real quick. Here is my several songs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs that are on my September Swagger Hip Hop playlist. And then I can do a few really cool things, right? I can share that with somebody, meaning I could say, I want to pitch this song to Bob. I want to pitch these songs to Bob Morin, or I want to create basically a subscription. So you can actually have people subscribing to your playlist. Let's say as you evolve and you start to create more relationships within MDIIO, you can start to have, let's say, I want to add Patricia to this playlist, And so every time this playlist updates, she gets a notification that says, hey, Justin Gray has updated the September Swagger Hip Hop playlist. And again, just to go back to my collaboration with David, right? So I'm going to go and add, what did we just upload here? Let's see. I'm going to go and find the song I just did with David here. Right, I'm going to go search that. Boom, there it is, Glory. I'm going to update the playlist. So now the song Glory has now been updated into this playlist, right? But I want to make sure that everybody hears it first. So when I submit this playlist to somebody, I want to make sure it's the first song that they hear, right? I can just literally drag and drop music wherever I want it to be within the playlist. So again, let's say Patricia is a subscriber to my playlist and I update it. She'll get a notification. Justin Gray updated the September Swagger Hip Hop playlist. David will also get notified if a song gets licensed directly. So the idea is you can license songs directly through the playlist as well, and you can do things like, add some. Let's see. Here's my one picture. There you go. I can add. I can add some art and brand my playlist. So here's what I want to show you that's really cool. Mood comparison. So remember I told you every song that gets uploaded to the platform actually gets analyzed on the way in. Some of you know this already, but here's a histogram or a view of, let me see if I can, is that getting bigger when I do that, you guys? Okay, great. So here is a visual representation of how these songs overlay on top of each other. So when we launch Hyper Audio, the whole idea is, well, if somebody likes the song Welcome to the Wildlife, they're going to also like the song Best Day Ever because it has very similar attributes that have been analyzed on the way in, right? So this is a great way for us to go, well, if they love Welcome to the Wildlife and they want to see more of those, right? So we have actually a feature in Hyper Audio called Smart Playlist. So they want to see more of those, but I don't have any more of those. But let's say Jenny and Bob and Gunwa have more of those. We can leverage the fact that they love my song to help them find your songs. And we can all kind of collaborate in terms of helping each other effectively get discovered and licensed. That's how it works. And of course, every time your song gets either discovered in a search, playlisted, shared, of course licensed, you get notifications around that too. So it's very important to make sure that when your song gets uploaded, you realize that it then gets analyzed, and we use all of those analysis, 10,000 different attribute points actually, to help you get discovered through Hyper Audio. But I'm going to open up like this one here. This is one of my favorites. Where is it? Here, Ballad Pop. So here's a bunch of songs that I wrote, and there you go. I'm going to make this big again. What's cool about this is, so I put together a Ballad Pop playlist, and I'll show you how we do playlists in 4 minutes. Start your clocks. So when I put together my Ballad Pop playlist, right, here's a whole bunch of songs, and I can see that the automation has determined that most of these songs pretty much line up. You can see, except here's this like weird non-song, which is the song Best Day Ever. We listen to Best Day Ever, you're going to see it is not a ballad playlist. It's an up-tempo, fun, high-energy song. I did that deliberately so you can see how you can literally visually go, oh, that song doesn't fit, right? Very, very cool kind of feature. So I'm going to bounce out of this for a second. I'm going to go back here. So let's say I want to put together a playlist, and I want to say, I'm going to find my oh my God, guys, please do not tell anybody that I cannot type in front of people. I'm going to find all my cinematic songs, right? Because I actually have one cinematic song, but let's say let's go back to make it a little bit bigger. Let's say I want to find rock, quirky. Let's see if I have any quirky rock songs. Okay, so I have a couple of quirky rock songs, but let's say I want to say, well, do I have any quirky rock songs that I've written specifically with Evan? I'm gonna say, okay, Evan. I'm gonna say, here's my quirky rock songs I wrote with Evan. Okay, but you know what? I want to find, do I have any quirky rock songs specifically that I wrote with Evan that reference, I'm gonna say, summer. Okay, whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna go backwards. Do I have any, I don't know, I'm getting really hyper specific here. Do I have any quirky rock songs that I wrote with Evan that reference the lyric summer? Right? Well, we know we do because we have that lyric in there. Then we go, Evan, summer. Hold on. This is tripping out here on me. There we go. Weird, we just saw it. Well, anyway, it does search lyrics. So let's say, well, we'll just say this. Summer. Here's my summer playlist. I'm going to go pitch track, pitch track, pitch track, pitch track. I'm just making these up, whatever, right? Amplifier, pitch track. So now I've created this whole playlist of tracks I'm going to pitch. So let's say I want to say summer songs, right? Now, once I've entered this title, I can do two things. I can share or I can create the playlist. I'm going to create that playlist. Bottom right corner, playlist added. We'll come back to that in a minute. Then I'm going to go, well, I'm going to also pitch this song. So I'm going to pitch this to myself, whatever. Fun summer songs. I'm going to share that, right? So I've just shared that playlist. Pitch successfully sent. Anybody who's a collaborator on the songs will get a notification. Justin Gray just pitched your song, whatever songs it might be. So I'm going to go back to my playlist here for a minute. There's my summer songs playlist that I've just added, right? I'm going to open that up. Here's all my songs that I just pitched and I just created, and then boom, right? We have our, and I'll go show you the AI analysis, and that's really cool. And then I can say, well, I want to make this song available to Hyper Audio. Click, right? Publish to Hyper Audio. Click. So when you actually have your songs and Hyper Audio is launched, that's all you have to do is to make those songs available is to just click that button. And then I'm going to just refresh that for a hot minute here. See, you can see that the songs are now, I can identify this song is on Hyper Audio, but the songs are not. Super easy to do. And by the way, we're going to publish this A to Z, so you'll be able to watch this again and get some little tips and tricks. Again, so we made that playlist. Immediately, here's the mood comparison of all of the songs on the playlist. It's actually cool. You can see they all kind of line up again, right? So we know that the energy is right on these songs. We know that they match each other. So that's the first thing. Go back again here, and again, I can brand that and do whatever I want. Boom, done. Pretty easy to do. I can remove the songs from the playlist. I can go look at the data information, and I can see the AI analysis. But let me open up for the people. Take this song, for example. You can see that this song has been analyzed, right? So right at the beginning of the song, you can see that it is 88% uplifting. It is almost zero. It is less than 1% calm. Why is this so important? I'm going to go to this part in the song, right? Let's watch the, I don't know, the aggressive number, for example, right? I'm going to move up to this point in the song here. I'll let me play it for a second. Right, I'm going to move over to here. It's more aggressive, slightly more calm, way more uplifting, not sad, way more energetic. Right, I'm going to move it over here. Right. So again, these are really important because when music supervisors go to look at your music, they want to see, oh, where's the most energetic point in the song? Right? Where's the most uplifting point in the song? So it actually is a very good tool to help them. And again, we use all of that information for when we're going to discover. If they want to say, I want to find a song that is has a similar dynamic arc to For the People, we can go and do that. Also, part of what we're launching when we launch Hyper Audio, that everybody who's a MDIIO Plus member will get a monthly tracktivity report, which will show your most commonly discovered songs, and it will talk about most commonly discovered searches through genres within the platform and within your music. So, for example, what people may or may not know is that most Christmas music is licensed between June and the end of July. And so a lot of people don't realize that. So, you know, you're going to see probably in June, the biggest searches are for things like holiday, Christmas, whatever. So it's a great way to give you tool sets to know what to write. Or if you were to go, hey, if we were to send you a note that says 57% of all licenses were female vocals. 63% were up-tempo searches. 82% were positive message. You go, oh, okay, well, if I wrote female up-tempo songs with a positive message, I stand a higher chance of getting licensed and discovered, right? So we want to kind of give you some of these tools and analytics and feedback to help you write better, to be more informed when you're working. Again, you might say, well, I'm a male, and or we might say, for example, which is happening a lot right now, hip hop, male, no samples, no profanity, right? Whatever. You say, well, okay, well, if I happen to have those songs, or I put those together, I'll stand a better chance of like getting my music licensed. So you get, maybe we say, 71% of the time people are licensing instrumentals. Okay, good to know, right? Here's some information that I wanted you to kind of get a sense of again. So you can see here, this song hasn't been fully analyzed yet either, but there's a bunch of good metadata points there. So we can talk a bit about hyper audio. Hyper audio is I'm going to stop a share right now. Well, let's do a couple quick things here. Let's go open up your network. So I'm going to go and find my good friend David Zipsy here. We're going to call you Zipsy Hustle. I'm just being stupid. I want to add David to my network. Boom! I just added David to my network. He'll now get a notification. Justin Gray wants to add you to his network. What's cool is now we can go and create and collaborate together directly through MDIIO. So I can, let's say, pop up a project and say, hey, I want to pull in David and Bob and Jenny and Gunwa to this project. So we can only just the four of us, or five of us rather, collaborate within this project. It doesn't have to be available publicly. In fact, I'll do one more thing in projects because I think this is something that's interesting for people to know. You can actually create your own project. So we're seeing a lot of people do this where you could say, I want to invite the whole public, or I want to invite custom only certain people maybe within my network, or I want to invite somebody that's not even on MDIIO. That's cool too. We can create those different projects, and you can literally enter all of this data and information, even if it's like, hey, I make beats and I'm looking for a rapper, or I only do top line lyrics and melody, I'm looking for a producer. You can actually create your own searches within MDIIO, and then of course, if you guys are on MDIIO and you know that you get these notifications, we send it out to almost 5,000 people on platform today, saying, hey, this producer is looking for an artist, or this songwriter is looking for artists, or this artist is looking for whatever collaborators. We can help you actually find people and connect you to projects, to potential projects. I'm gonna open up my notifications. I just got a notification here. What was this notification here? David Zipsy accepted my network request. Perfect. We know it works. I can actually go back to my page and see that here as well. David Zipsy accepted my network request. I'm going to go and add. So if you guys don't find me, come and find me. Right, Gunnar, are you on platform? Are you in front of a computer? Go to your network and go to search Justin Gray and add me to your network. Right. We'll just do this as a little experiment here. So that's kind of it. I will show you this. This is important. Let's say you've written a song with somebody who is not on MDIIO. That's okay. We get that question a lot. You can go to add and invite somebody. I'm going to invite John Smith, whatever. I'm going to say John at, I'm just putting this in so it's it just kind of kills the link. And I go send, right? I've now sent an invite to my friend John Smith. He's now a collaborator on the song. Once the data refreshes, John Smith is going to be added as a collaborator to the song, and I can now go and again anytime that the song is pitched, he'll get a notification, and so they eventually, and the song of course will show up in his database as well. So that's how that kind of works. It's again pretty easy to do. Oh, Gunwell wishes to add me to my network. Perfect. Robert Morton, you guys, I feel so popular. Thank you very much. I'm going to confirm that. But now what's cool is I can go back into my network and I can look up, right? I can go and find my new friends. And we're gonna fix this. We're gonna make this a lot easier to search. So I apologize if it's not the most searchable. But I'm gonna go add Gunwell right here, right? So I'm gonna say I can send him a message, right? I can do hey. I'm gonna say cool glasses. There you go. I do think you have cool glasses, by the way. That was a compliment. Boom, right? So now we can communicate and do all of that stuff. So that's kind of it. Now what we're doing with hyper audio. So let me explain this a little bit to you guys. I'm gonna stop doing my screen share. What hyper audio is basically, imagine Airbnb but for songs, right? So Airbnb allows the person who owns the apartment or the condo or the home or whatever to rent that to somebody, to license that. And they put together the demanders with the suppliers, and they create this transaction. That's exactly what we're doing with HyperAudio. It's an driven front-end search tool, not dissimilar to Getty Images, but for music, where the songs on MDIIO that have been pushed to HyperAudio can then get discovered by music supervisors and licensed directly through music supervisors. From music supervisors, again, we collect all of that revenue. We make sure that you guys get paid, and then we we can do that. You can do that 1,000 times. It's per song. You can literally license a song as many times as infinite amounts of time. So that's the whole purpose of HyperAudio, is to create a passive revenue stream for songwriters. We're working on several cool partnerships that will see thousands of searches a month running through HyperAudio, and we anticipate doing a lot of licensing on your behalf. So, by all means, please make sure that your music is there and it's available for licensing on HyperAudio. So questions, David Zipsey, why did emotional analysis work for my first few tracks but not now? That's a great question. The answer is because the people that we are developing this, the emotional analysis, there was a bit of a bug in the system, and so we've gotten that fixed. So there's a bit of a backlog, but those will all get reanalyzed. So please stand by on that. Thanks for your patience. Again, we're we're learning and we're brand new at this, so we want to make sure that we create a bulletproof experience for people, and that's sort of the downfall of trying to grow at a very, very quick rate, is certain things like that. So thanks for your patience. Catalogs. If you have publishing or exclusive relationships, when would you use this? Also from David Zipsey. Great question. And he had a third one, master ownership. I add it to metadata. I don't see a place for it. Okay. Also great question. So let's answer all of these questions, David. So catalogs. You can... where I've created catalogs, again, I'll go back to a screen share here real quick, you guys. So where I've created catalogs I've created I'm going to actually delete this one because we don't need to have that one in there. So for example, when I have my retirement fund catalog, that catalog is connected to Razor and Time BMG Publishing. It is, and the PRO for the songs that are in that catalog are affiliated to SOCAN. 12 Notes and 26 Letters, however, is affiliated strictly to BMG, and my PRO is SOCAN. Kujikotiko is BMG, but those songs are collected by ASCAP. Again, you just set up all of that information. So the reason why you would have catalogs is sometimes you would want to make sure to identify where those songs are registered and who is collecting them on your behalf. 72 songs you can see is Downtown Music, and the PRO is BMI. If you guys want to ask questions on why I've changed around, every time I do a new publishing deal, for my benefit, I create a new catalog so that I know that there's no confusion, that the 72 songs is being collected by Downtown and is being collected by BMI. So when I go and do my next publishing deal or my next admin deal, it might be Cobalt, but it might also be BMI. It's just a great way for me to create a very specific filter on what songs are collected by who. Again, not overly used, but it sounds like David might have several different copyrights affiliated to different partnerships or relationships. This is just a great way to kind of identify those. You might have your songs that are your partners with MDIIO, but you might have other songs affiliated to other different partners that are not that you don't want to have be available for licensing in MDIIO. So again, it's just, whether you use it or not, it's just kind of a great way to determine and identify and filter songs into each other. And of course, you can easily move those around. So like I can open the Glory song if I wanted to and say, hey, I want to actually affiliate that to a different catalog. I'm going to put that into my, I'll put over 72 songs, right? So I've just put that into my 72 songs catalog, for example. So I'm going to stop sharing again so I can go back to some questions. Oh, master ownership. Okay. So the next question was, where is there a specific spot for master ownership? So what I think we're going to do is, in this additional data, we're going to just have this box be additional data / master ownership information. So you can just literally type in what you need to, and then that information all gets associated with the song. So when the song gets pitched, they'll know who to reach out to for master clearance. But in HyperAudio, I think it's important to note that part of the reason why we're looking to create significant traffic is because when your music is up on Hyper Audio, we don't own, again, we don't own it. We are not your publisher. We are not your exclusive representation of these songs. All we do is try to connect the dots, and for that we take a percentage of the transaction, which is 20%. It's consistent with what a manager would take, and it's way lower than what a music publisher would take. If any of you guys have relationships with song pluggers, they'll take 50%, even sometimes 75%. They'll take half of the writer's earnings and all of the publisher revenue. So we want to make sure that it's lower than what people are used to paying significantly, and the service is better. And anyway, I just wanted to kind of put that out there. But part of the intention is to be able to clear 100% or wholly. You don't have to wholly own the songs, but you have to have sort of the authority to represent those transactions on behalf of your clears. I do that all the time in my real world, in my other life as a songwriter and a producer. When I work with artists, we always make basically a partnership that says, "Hey, let me represent these songs. We'll clear them entirely, and when we earn revenue, I'll pay you, within 48 hours of receiving the revenue." So again, it might benefit you to do that. I think what we're going to do, Carrie, make a note of this. I think what we should do is create a single one-page document that you guys can download and have. So you can collect those rights on behalf of, if you're in a band and you're the lead singer and the songwriter, make sure that you can represent the interests of your collaborators. Of course, if everybody's on MDIIO, everybody is in agreement of that too. So, it'll be better for you in terms of being able to make those songs available for licensing. Next question from Patricia. How do you subscribe to someone's playlist? You don't subscribe to somebody's playlist. You can add subscribers to your own playlist. That's sort of like a little bit of a reverse of that. Now, when we launch Hyper Audio and someone goes, "Ooh, who is Patricia Wasey? I think that I love what she's doing." They can actually subscribe to you as an artist at that point once Hyper Audio is launched. So every time you upload a song, they'll get a notification in their inbox. Patricia's uploaded this new song. You check it out here. So we're going to have the subscribe to you when Hyper Audio gets launched. I hope that makes sense. David Zipsy, so is your platform free for just the first year? So right now the platform is free for the foreseeable future, David. It is my goal to keep it for free. I think that the intention is that we start running so many licenses through MDIIO and Hyper Audio on behalf of our membership that we never have to go to them to pay a subscription. So yeah, our goal is to try and keep it free, at least for the foreseeable future. And let's see where we go from there. Kiza, by the way, if you guys don't know Kiza is amazing. She has been a very, very early believer in what we did. We met in Atlanta about, 4 years ago or something, I think by now, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And she's been incredible. And some of the digital university people I know that are here because of her. So we love you, Kiza. How to subscribe to a playlist? I love that. Well, that was a question I kind of just answered. Can one song be on multiple playlists? Yes, of course it can. You can add the same song. In fact, I'll show you this right now. Here's a great example of this very point. So I'm going to go, the song Gloria is, well, you can see here the song Gloria is on the September Swagger hip hop playlist. But let me go and add that to, I'm going to add this to summer songs, right? Whatever. I'm just going to add this to my summer songs playlist. I'm going to add the song Glory to that playlist here. Search. I've now added this song. It's going to find. I'm going to add the song Glory to the playlist, right? And I'm going to update that playlist. So now the song Gloria is on my summer songs playlist. As you can see, it's down here somewhere. There it is. I'm going to go back. I'm going to put that second because I just am. I'm going to go open up the song Glory again, which is the information in. You can see now that it shows that it's available on both the September Swagger Hip Hop playlist and the Summer Songs playlist. So especially I know Kiza, who represents and works with a bunch of writers and artists, I think Gunwa included, she can add those songs to, like, you can have the Digital University, October bangers playlist, and you can add those people to those songs, and any of those songs could be on any of those playlists, completely interchangeable. And again, you can, Digital University top 21 of 2021 or whatever. You can kind of keep doing that by adding people to and sharing the playlists. Gunwa, will the system analyze a bulk upload? Yes, of course. So when you're dragging 1, 2, 10, or 100 songs in, it obviously takes a minute. And as David Zipsey has explained, every time we see a little bit of a hiccup, we try to resolve it as fast as possible. Yes, every song that gets uploaded will get analyzed. Sometimes they take longer than others, and the reason is depending on how many songs are being uploaded. So we actually have, it's not really public knowledge, but it's okay. We've just uploaded a very significantly sized catalog of about 30,000 songs that all also get analyzed. So when you imagine, it's easy to analyze one song at a time, but when you have 30,000 songs in a queue, it might take a couple of days for that to happen, or a week sometimes. Jenny, if a song is registered with CD Baby Pro, does that make the transaction tangly? All right, are you an East Coaster? That sounds like a very East Coasty thing to say. I like that. I think I heard that somewhere. Are you able to clarify this? So, all right, bye. So here's what it is. Bye. That was my terrible East Coast Canadian accent. I apologize, you guys. Please don't cancel me for that. So the answer is when your song is registered with CD Baby Pro, it depends if they have authority. Unsubscribed. Yeah, exactly. Carrie, you can't cancel yourself. You work with us. When a song is represented by TuneCore, DistroKid, CD Baby, they may have a certain authority to represent those transactions. That does make things a little bit more of a challenge. But Jenny, if you want to email me directly, let's sort this out because we certainly don't want to limit you from being able to use platforms like that for what you're releasing. But no, I don't think that there's a specific issue there. My sense is that CD Baby Pro or whoever, it might be your partner, they have the authority to help you transact on licenses for you. But because we can also do that for the stuff that we do through MDIIO exclusively, meaning you're not exclusive, but the stuff we do through MDIIO exclusively, meaning that if you were to license your song independent of HyperAudio, we don't help you on that. There's no reason for us to help you on that. But if you were to license it directly through MDIIO, we would help you on that. So David Zipsey says CD Pro becomes your publisher. So exactly. So there's there could be a challenge, but again, I think that there is definitely workarounds. They're your publisher on what they collect on revenue that you generate through their platform. They can also represent you on transactions, but I'm not sure that it needs to be exclusive. I'm going to go and double check that. We know those people pretty well. So I'm going to see if there's a workaround there to make life easier for everybody. But no, there shouldn't be any issues with transacting directly through MDIIO. That wouldn't affect your relationships at CD Pro or Centric or Songtrust or wherever.
Can I just say something? Oh.
Yeah, of course. Who's that?
Is that okay? Because I'm not with Pro. I didn't register them CD Baby Pro. I just have my songs on the regular. But the CD Baby set crowd is encouraging people to go with Pro, and then I'm thinking it'll be easier, but it's not if there's a conflict. Like
I don't think there would be a conflict. It's sort of like it's great. They encourage it because it's a great way for them to add an extra admin fee to whatever they're collecting anyway.
Right.
And whatever, I think everybody needs to have some sort of representation. There's a lot of other less participatory partners, like people like Centric or people like Songtrust. I think Centric is actually on a 28-day cycle. So I think every 28 days you can remove your songs. But again, we're talking about different types of revenue streams. Publishers collecting performance royalties in Czechoslovakia is different than we're talking about collecting licensing transactions on licenses, which they don't really need to be involved with. So I don't really see a conflict. I'm gonna have some conversations with some of our lawyers and see what they think on that. But let's continue talking about it. Again, I'm going to put my email. It's just over at the top, but I just want to send it again anyway. There it is. Do me a favor, you guys. If you're sending me music, which I'm happy to listen to, don't send me SoundCloud links. Send me MDIIO links at least. have the courtesy of sending me MDIIO links. Give me a minute. I just gotta give me 10 minutes. That would be very helpful. Any other sort of questions, comments, thoughts, ideas? Appreciate you taking the time today on a Saturday, for some people morning, for some people afternoon, for some people evening, joining us here today. Greatly appreciated the time that you're spending with us. I hope this was insightful. If there's any questions, please, as Kiza can attest to, she emails me all the time. Thankfully, I'm grateful. Don't take that the wrong way. I'm happy you do, and I'm happy to be responsive as fast as possible. We are growing really quickly. If you have any ideas or things that you'd like to see in the platform, by all means, hit that little chat at the bottom right. We'd love to hear from your ideas. We'd love to hear if you have any ideas for blogs that you want to see us, maybe some types of MDIIO events. If there's anything that you feel like, hey, I really would like to know more about. I'm making this up. How to mix my songs better. That's a great MDIIO event that we'll put together. In fact, I think we should do that, Kira. Let's make a point. Let's do we'll call it like a MDIIO mix event, or something. So she's saying one-stop agreement, yes. Splits, e-signer, agree, and platform. Yeah, agreed. All of it's great. So I, again, want to thank you. Any sort of questions, thoughts as we go here? No, we're good? We're all good? Awesome. Guys, have a great rest of your weekend.